Hey guys, I'm back again and I have for you today a book haul. Now, I sure haven't done a book haul in a while, but it's now the month of April and there's quite a little stack that is growing, but not a lot. So I've been very good. I've been trying to respect hashtag read your own damn books. And I'll just have to eventually do an overall talk about how that's been going and what it, how much have I really actually read from my bookshelf as opposed to what I have bought. But I haven't bought a lot. A few of these I bought, like I said on another video. I did some buying of books in November and December, and so a couple of these are pre-orders. One was a gift and the other ones I bought. So let's get started. The first book I have on here is The Children of Sanchez by Oscar Lewis. Now, I saw this one over on Denise D. Cooper ArtBooksLife's channel. She was talking about this a couple of videos ago and I was thoroughly intrigued because I don't often read nonfiction, but I'm getting more into it as time goes on, and I was thoroughly intrigued by this because this is like one of those books. It's kind of like a classic nonfiction to read, and I'll read you the back so you can see what it's about. It is an epic story of the Sanchez family told entirely by its members. Jesus, the 50-year-old patriarch, and his 4 adult children, as their lives unfold in the Mexico City slum they call home. Weaving together the extraordinary personal narratives, Oscar Lewis creates a sympathetic but ultimately tragic portrait that is at once harrowing and humane, mystifying and moving. So yeah, this one I really do want to get to next month because I would have enjoyed reading this along with Denise, but it's not possible because I already have my April mapped out. So it is what it is. All right, the next book I picked up was Bloodchild. This is Octavia E. Butler, and this was a New York Times notable book, and it is basically a collection of short stories. Of course, Bloodchild being one of the main short stories. And yeah, I had to pick this one up, and I know it's very difficult to get this book, and so I was very proud to have obtained the second edition, and I hope to get to this one as soon as I can, like next month, because I have been hearing so much about her and I want something that I can read quite quickly, and this one is pretty short, so we're gonna go with this one. Next, I picked up The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. I love this vintage. This is a vintage edition of Yukio Mishima. So I read this last month with Conrad's Readers Inc. book club over on Goodreads. Conrad's channel now is called The Deckled Edge. If you don't know it, you need to get the heck on over there and check it out because it is the business. We read this book and it didn't really float my boat. I think I gave it 2.5 stars. I just quickly reviewed a little bit on Goodreads. Nothing to read home about for me personally. It just didn't speak to me that much. However, I preferred the short story that I read a couple of years back called Patriotism, which I had read for the second time. I think I read it the first time I read it in high school, I think it was. And I reread it again a couple of years ago and just loved it. So, but I'm not done with Mishima because I definitely want to read some other stuff by him, other novels. So that's a project for the future. But this one I just, I thought it was okay. Next, I picked up 5-Star Billionaire by Tash Ao, and this was sparked by, you remember the series that I reviewed last month called The Face, and there was one by Tash Ao. Since I hadn't read anything by Tash Ao, I thought I would pick this one up because this is one of the more known works by him. And this one, it says factory girl turned gold digger, property magnate, pop star, entrepreneur and guru. 5 newcomers are lured by the promise of making fortunes and remaking identities, but they find their lives are converging in unpredictable ways as the 5-Star Billionaire's lessons for success wreak havoc. So yeah, that sounds like a really, interesting story. So I can't wait to get to that. And I pre-ordered this one, which is The Birds of Opulence by Crystal Wilkinson. And you know how I have some mad love for Crystal Wilkinson and her writing. And I'm in the process of reading this one at the moment. I am about halfway, almost 3/4 of the way through. Hopefully I'll finish this either tonight or tomorrow. And if that happens, then you'll eventually get a review. Either this, probably in the beginning of next week, you'll get reviews, because my weekend is going to be crazy. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to review and can't wait. Next pre-ordered book is Jhumpa Lahiri's In Other Words, and I love this cover. And I picked this one up as a pre-order because I was extremely interested in what she thinks about learning another language. In her case, it's a third language. Technically, yeah, because she speaks English, she speaks Bengali, and she's learning Italian. And you know, and I, you know, being that she has such a particular, you know, way with words, she's like a particular relationship, I should say, with the written word, being that she is an author. I wonder how she felt about learning Italian, if she feels the same as most people feel when they're learning a second, you know, or third language or whatever, if she felt this, it feels the same as most people, or if it's slightly different. I'm like super interested in this kind of thing when people talk about what they go through when they learn a language. And I think that's mostly just because I teach English to adults and to, you know, to teenagers and stuff. So I can't wait to get to this one. This is probably slotted for next month's reading list because, you know, too good to pass up that one. I need to read it. The next one was Gift from the lovely Bernice L. McFadden, and it is the Book of Harlan. I can't wait to get to this one because I know I can put my hand in the fire, know that this one is going to be really good. And it just, I'll read a little bit of the back. It says, the Book of Harlan opens with the courtship of Harlan's parents and his 1917 birth in Macon, Georgia. After his prominent minister grandfather dies, Harlan and his parents move to Harlem, where he eventually becomes a professional musician. When Harlan and his best friend trumpeter Lizard Robbins are invited to perform at a popular cabaret in the Parisian enclave of Montmartre, affectionately referred to as the Harlem of Paris by Black American musicians, Harlan jumps at the opportunity, convincing Lizard to join him. But after the City of Light falls under Nazi occupation, Harlan and Lizard are thrown into Buchenwald, the notorious concentration camp in Weimar, Germany, irreparably changing the course of Harlan's life. Come on now. Does that not sound excellent? Okay. So yeah, this book is slotted for me to read the third week of this month because, you know, I have to put myself on the schedule or I never get all these 8 books read. So I can't wait to get to that one. Now, the next book I have on my list is Black Deutschland by Daryl Pinkney. Okay, and this is a new release as well of this year. And I had never heard of Daryl Pinkney before. I think this might be his second or third book because it says here author of High Cotton, so he has written another book. Now, he's being compared to some kind of modern day James Baldwin. I don't know about all that because, you know, James Baldwin, that's like way up here, so I don't know, but we're gonna see. I'm reading this with a group of us are reading this as a big buddy read, and so we're gonna be discussing that and, you know, reading that this month. So I hope to be cracking this one open maybe this weekend if possible. I'm not so sure, but I'm gonna try for this weekend. The last 2 books that I have in this book haul are both French books. The first one is Romain Gary, La Vie Devant Soi, which is life before yourself, or life before, yeah, your life, if you prefer. This was a Prix Goncourt winner in 1975, I think. And this is the story of a young boy, a young Arab boy. His name is Momo, and it's his relationship with a Jewish woman whose name is Madame Rosa. So I bought this in Paris when I was with Haja and Oriane, and they both were like, what? You haven't read Romain Gary? You need to get on it. So I picked this one up, and this is a folio. So that's why it's very simple, and it's quite small because, see, it, you know, it's the size of my hand, which is really cool here about the books. They often are what they call livre de poche, which is a book that is pocket size. It fits in your pocket almost. and these are usually quite inexpensive, so I think I maybe paid 6-7 euros for this one. And the last one, but not least, is Marie Indier Ladivine. Yeah, so as you know, Ladivine has been chosen as one of the Man Booker International long list books. So I decided to pick this one up, and hopefully I will read this one as soon as I possibly can get my hands up on it to read it, because I think they're going to be picking the short list pretty soon. And the only other book that I have that's on that long list that I'm waiting for is The Vegetarian. So I'm going to try to get to this one as quick as I can. It probably won't be this month though, unless for some reason I do really well and I read all 8 books and I have some extra time, and I'll start reading this one. But the idea is that I read it quite quickly, so it is also slotted for the month of May for my TBR. So that's all I have. If you want to know what I'm reading at the moment, I'm reading this one, The Birds of Opulence, which I'm almost done. I'm reading this one, which is Sanctuary. This is a vintage classics edition, and I'm a third of the way through this one. And this is something else. But then I knew it would be, because Faulkner is, I love Faulkner. And of course, I will be cracking open the Polished Hoe probably on Saturday, either Friday or Saturday. Friday night or Saturday night, because I'm going to be pretty much out of the house tomorrow. So I'll probably pick this up when I get home on Friday night or on Saturday. So of course, as you know, we have to read the first part, which is about 195 pages. Let me know if you guys have already started, if you're reading it. If you are, tell me what you think so far. I don't know yet because I haven't cracked it open. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you're having a wonderful experience with your reading this month. The weather is getting better, the sun is shining, and it looks like we're going to see the end of winter really soon. So I'll be back soon with another video.